Hello everyone, it is nearing the end of 2022 and 2023 is around the corner. Every Warframe for this year has been released and now it's time for our annual tier list of Warframes. Of course, I'm your beloved host, the GamingWeasel, and let's get straight into this. So, first of all, Varuna's not on the list because she was recently released. She might, come to some changes, might not. It really depends on DE. So, she is excluded from this tier list. Then, I'm going to be taking into consideration the base Warframe. No helmet abilities and no shield gating. Why no shield gating? Many of these Warframes can utilize it. And basically you can survive with shield gating with any different Warframe. Well, it is a feature. I guess you could say maybe, it is a very useful feature because it really is. But I'm going to be counting the base Warframe without any shield gating. Now, I'm also going to be taking into consideration how usable that Warframe is inside of Steel Path. Is it going to be good inside of Steel Path? And is it going to be good in low tier missions as well? I'm going to be taking that into consideration. I will also be taking into consideration what types of missions is that Warframe good at. And basically, that is it. Keep in mind, I know a lot of people are gonna get angry. Oh, my Warframe is not in the extremely fine or damn fine. It's not in the top part of the list. I'm very angry. I will leave a dislike. Sure, it is your choice. I'm trying to be as objective as I possibly can, and where I think my decisions on where I put the Warframe are pretty accurate, at least by my standards. So, without any further ado, let's get this on the road. Ash. Ash is a very decent Warframe. I love using Ash. I have been using him recently more and more inside of Steel Path. He can armor strip, he can go invisible, he can also crowd control and apply slash procs with his 4. He can do decent amounts of damage, and the armor reduction with his augment on Seeking Shuriken is really good. Would I say he is maybe the best Warframe? I wouldn't say so. But I would definitely put Ash up in damn fine. He is a little bit better than I expected him to be. As I said, I've been using him mostly in disruption missions at the moment just because of that armor strip. And honestly, pretty goddamn good Warframe, I have to say. I'm really satisfied with Ash. Atlas. Atlas is a Warframe that is our one-punch Warframe. He is basically just used for one-punching enemies. If you have a decent enough stat stick, he is decent. His rumblers are dumb as hell. His wall basically does nothing. He can petrify enemies, and he does gain armor as well. But there are Warframes that are coming up that can do almost the same thing, but a lot better. But where would I put him? Probably not in the trash tier. I don't think he's that bad. He can still one-punch stuff, but definitely would put him in not the best, but no sook. Banshee. Banshee is really good. I've been using Banshee mostly for crowd controlling enemies where I need to. Her crowd controlling is really good with silence. Also, another great thing about her is honestly sonar. Amazing ability, sonar. She was used before for Quake, Soundquake, and she was amazing and basically killing everything and leveling Warframes up. But nowadays, she's really good at Kuva Lich hunting and Sister Lich hunting. I use her pretty often in those situations. So, honestly, because you're going to be hunting Kuva Liches and also you're going to be hunting, what's it called? Assist the Tenant Liches as well, or get Sisters, she's pretty decent at that. Now, how does she fare in other missions? Well, she has crowd controlling, which makes survival, I guess, a little bit easier. Sonar's really good because, of course, it reveals, weak spots, so if you have a good AoE weapon that hasn't been nerfed into the ground, she's pretty good as well. Defense missions as well, interception missions, pretty cool. Would I use her for like capture missions, spy missions, and stuff like that? No. But in some longer term missions, definitely as even a support Warframe, yeah, definitely sure. I'm gonna put her in a good choice. Baruch, our newest, I guess, prime that's gonna be coming out, and honestly, I really love Baruch. I am not a Baruch main, but I extremely adore Baruch. Baruch can red crit, destroy everything, fist everything to death. He can survive a lot. He can survive a lot, he can crowd control, he can basically become invincible with his first ability. Honestly, Baruch, definitely damn nice. Honestly, he's really good at defense, interception, and also like longer term missions, like the survival as well. Would I guess, use him for faster missions? Definitely not. I could, but no. Honestly, his greatest attribute is his Fists of Doom. Basically, he is a much better one-punch man than Atlas could ever be. Caliban, the sentient Warframe that is sadly forgotten. I haven't played Caliban in like 2 weeks, I think. I tried some builds on him, also even with Helmuth. I think Caliban is a good Warframe. It's just that one aspect of him that I do not like is his energy drain is incredibly huge and you don't get anything from it. He summons 3 sentients and basically they don't do anything other than, I guess, replenish our shields and do some damage to enemies. Honestly, he is a really forgettable Warframe. I even forgot he came out. When I looked at his tier list, I was like, oh, that's Caliban. He exists as well. I wouldn't say he's the worst Warframe. Low tier missions are going to be pretty good for him if you want to just like have fun with a different Warframe. But other than that, I wouldn't really use him. So what I'm going to do is not the best, but no suck. Chroma, my sad dragon. I love dragons. I'm a person who really loves dragons. But sadly, Chroma is our Profit Taker whore. Basically, he's just used for Profit Taker. His passive is shit. His first ability is atrocious. Fourth ability, it's good. It's good. His third and second are actually really decent. And he can survive inside of Steel Path, for example. Low tier missions are not even a question. Inside of low tier endurance missions, he can basically last everything. In I guess Steel Path, he can survive pretty easily. Sort of easily, using as a, I guess, light term. You do need a lot of effort with him. I personally have, I think, 6-4 on my Chroma Prime, and it was a pain to get. Honestly, just for Profit Taker. That's why I don't know, I'm deciding maybe trash tier, but he's good at Profit Taker, so I'm gonna put him here. He's not the best option. If you want, you can play defense missions as well, I guess, long endurance missions, sort of, with him. So, you know what, I'll keep him here, just because, you know, I'll just keep him here, I guess. Ember. Ember is a Warframe that was amazing a long time ago, and she's decent now. At low tier missions, I usually run Fisher missions, low tier Fisher missions with her. Fast ones like Capture, Exterminate, stuff like that, because of her fourth ability. Because in low tier missions like Relic missions, you don't need anything to, I guess, boost up the damage of your fourth ability, and you can destroy everything. You can also kill enemies even without line of sight. If you want to have 90% damage reduction with her second ability, you're basically going to be using so much energy that, I don't know, if you had like 5 dispensaries on you, it wouldn't be enough to give you energy. I do not like that. There's a lot of setup needed for you to do actual good damage. Her first ability is atrocious as well. It can be sort of useful, yes, to boost up her third ability, but... or I guess second ability, sorry, but honestly, I wouldn't really like play her. I guess good for killing low tier enemies. That's what she's good for. She's decent at that, and that's basically it. Equinox 2 forms. This Warframe is actually really good. She's really great at farming, what's it called, focus as well. She's really good at damage dealing as well. She's a great crowd controlling Warframe as well. She is really decent. Honestly, I should probably play her a little bit more. Sadly, I don't find a situation where I could, but what I'm gonna do is actually put her in the good choice. That's what I think about Equinox. A little bit of a hassle to get, but nonetheless, the Warframe itself is actually really decent. Excalibur. I've done a video on Excalibur recently. Excalibur is pretty good. High tier missions I would never play with him. There are definitely Warframes that can do higher level missions much faster, much better, much easier. He is the poster boy of Warframe, of course. First ability is something that's... I mean, they changed it, but it's bad still, in my opinion. He does a lot of slash procs nowadays. He can also blind enemies as well. Great crowd controlling. His fourth ability with the Exalted Blade is really good, especially with the Chromatic Blade Augment. I can't speak. But, like, would I put him... I guess he could go up. He can definitely play Steel Path. I'm not saying he can't. He definitely can. He's decent in fast missions as well. Not the best Warframe, but he's okay. Honestly, what I'm going to put him in is probably going to be not the best, but doesn't suck, definitely. Or maybe I could move him to good choice. He's really good at normal Starter as well, and even arbitrations. You can definitely last arbitrations pretty easily. It's just if you have the Umbra variant, it's a little bit better, a little bit easier. So I guess if you have the Umbra variant, then definitely put him here. So you know what? Just because I'll count Excalibur Umbra as like the normal variant, I'm gonna put him in good choice. Frost. Oh, Frost. I'm so sad to see this. I mean, listen. Frost can do true damage with his globe. That's good. His passive is absolutely old and absolutely dog poop. Like, it's honestly dog shit. His passive is, if an enemy hits you with a melee weapon, he has a 20% chance of getting frozen. Like, really? His worth ability can armor strip. You can also utilize, I think it's Archon Stretch, who, correct me if I'm wrong, as well, with his, of course, cold damage. Honestly, using your globe to do true damage is kind of okay. His second ability and his first ability are awful. I don't like his first two abilities, that's just me, maybe you like them. His first two abilities, no. And definitely his third and his fourth ability are really good. He's really good at defense missions. He can do, as I said, true damage with his globes if he, like, you know, attacks an enemy with his globes and they get pushed out. He can armor strip as well, so that's pretty cool. But I think his kit is a little bit outdated. I wouldn't definitely put him in the trash tier, but not the best in my opinion. If his first ability and passive were to be changed, I guess the second ability can be used, you know, a little bit. But if his I guess first ability and passive get changed, then I would definitely put him a little bit higher up. Now I would just put not the best. I mean, listen, armor stripping. The long animation on his 4 and armor stripping with his 4 is good. You do need a lot of power strength to actually pull off 100%, and there are Warframes that can do that much more easily. Doing true damage is good, but there's Warframes that can do tremendous amounts of damage without needing to cast globes all over the place, so definitely here. Gara, listen, I'm a big Gara fan. My honest opinion on the Gara Prime look is amazing, because Gara Prime is one of the Warframes that I made look amazing in Warframe. Gara can go up to millions amounts of damage with her Splinter Storm. Her third ability is, I guess, is the only useless ability, but if you do have the Spectral Siphon Augment, then it's okay. Her fourth ability is also so basically her first, fourth, and second are very good synergized, so you can gain a lot of damage on her Splinter Storm. You have 90% damage reduction as well. She's decently fast as a Warframe. What else? She can apply that 90% damage reduction on defense targets and also like drones and stuff like that. So that is very nice as well. Believe me, that saved me sometimes playing Steel Path solo defense missions. As a tanky Warframe, she's definitely tanking, applying 90% damage reduction to herself, and as I said, that Splinter Storm can go up into amazing amounts of damage. Would I put her in damn fine? Definitely no, but good choice. She's a really, really good choice at defense missions, survival missions, and just basically, you can even play like extermination missions with her and basically just run into enemies and they're going to die if you gather enough, of course, Splinter Storm. Garuda, the Blood Warframe. Honestly, since her rework, definitely good choice. I don't even have to discuss this. Honestly, her kit has been improved. She has invincibility phases now as well. She can gain millions of health, well, not millions, I guess, thousands of health, or get hundreds of health per second through her blood altars. She does a really good damage with her talons as well if you don't have a melee weapon equipped. She can also get a damage boost with her passive now. Her passive is much better. And also, just her kit in general has been refined. Those invincibility phases, believe it or not, that have been added through her animations are incredibly good. I love it that they changed on that, so I'm definitely gonna put her in good choice. Goss is the love of my life. Goss is gonna go into extremely fine. Goss is incredibly good. He can go super fast. He can also apply fire damage, cold damage, blast damage, if you combine those two. Extremely good for low tier missions, extremely good at capture, extermination, sabotage, spy. It's okay, definitely wouldn't use him for spy, but nonetheless, pretty good at that as well. He's really good with survival missions because he does apply to himself 90% damage reduction. He can increase the attack speed, fire rate, reload as well from his primary, secondaries, and also melee attacks. He is, honestly, in my opinion, really, really good. He is the first Warframe that I would definitely put in extremely fine. I love Gauss. He is just really amazing at most missions that you're gonna run into. Like, do I need to do a capture mission? Do I need to finish it in under a minute? Gauss is my option. Do I need to play a little bit of survival? Gauss can still be my option. Now, moving on to Grendel. Grendel, I'm really indecisive. Since his rework, oh my fucking god, he's amazing. He has thousands of armor. He has thousands of health. He can armor ship with his third and also with his second ability. He can gather up even more armor through his first ability. He can apply viral damage to himself, or I guess to his weapons as well. He can also, well, I actually forgot what his fourth does right now. My brain is completely frozen. I'm talking about so many Warframes. Alright, I'll be right back. Okay, now I remember what this fourth ability does. It does toxin damage and also armor ships. There you go. Sorry, had a little bit of a brain fart. But nonetheless, he is actually extremely good. And Nourish is one of the best helmet abilities that you can get for any Warframe. Nourish will give you health, viral damage. Honestly, he is incredibly good right now. I love him so much. Honestly, I am thinking of putting him in extremely fine, just because he's almost as fast, if not faster than Gauss, with his not his pulverized, but his rolling meatball of doom form. He is as tanky as Warframes can get, believe me. He could, with my build, he gains around, I think, 2,000 something armor, like 4,000, 5,000 health. He will not die. He will literally not die, and he can kill anything that tries to kill him, basically. He is really, really good. I love him so much. Gyre. A Warframe that I haven't played in a while, honestly. Her crowd controlling abilities are really good. She does a lot of electrical damage. She can boost the crit chance of your weapons. Honestly, a really good Warframe. I really love the look of her. I love her animations. I love everything that looks on her. I do have to say she is on the squishier side. Is she maybe as a crowd controlling Warframe? She's extremely good. I have to say she's extremely good as a crowd controlling Warframe. Would I take her into higher tier gameplay? Definitely no. Definitely not. I would definitely not take her in lower tier missions, and I guess up to what's it called, arbitrations. Sure, I do not mind. Her buffs are extremely good. I have to say her buffs are extremely good, and she's really decent. But I would honestly put her in decent but doesn't suck. I sort of forgot about her as well. I just remember her because of her looks, but she is actually really decent. Basically decent. Hero. I was a Hero main, I still am. Hero is useful in a couple of missions. He's definitely a solo Warframe, starting off with that. He's definitely a solo Warframe. I would definitely not play him with a team, because most of the team is going to be nuking everything. His first ability, Condemn, is one of the best crowd controlling abilities out there. He can give himself shields and overshields. He can give himself fire rate and attack damage. He can give himself a 50% boost to critical damage, critical chance, sorry. And also, he can regenerate energy. He is basically the one-man army Warframe. He is the gun buffing Warframe. If you have good weapons and you want to make them even better, Hero is the Warframe for you. I really love Hero, and I'm definitely going to put him into good choice. I really do love him a lot. He's still really great. Is he really good inside a Steel Path? I wouldn't say so, but the overshields do save him most of the time. He can also gain health as well on kill if his second ability is active, so that's really good. Honestly, a decent Warframe. Not the tankiest, definitely not as tanky as Grendel is. No Warframe is that tanky, I think, other than maybe a couple Warframes right here. But he is still really good in my opinion. If you just want to use your weapons, he is the Warframe. If you want to play solo and use your weapons, he is the Warframe for you. Hildren. Hildren is okay. She has mass amounts of shields. She can also clear her any status effects on her. She can also give, I guess, a buff called basically her shield gating to her allies as well. That's pretty cool. She can regenerate shields. She can armor strip as well. That's really nice. She can levitate with her fourth ability, which is a decent crowd controlling ability. But no, I don't really like it that much because you cannot use your pillage ability, which is basically your main survival ability on her. That's kind of bad. And her first ability is okay, but it won't kill anything, I think, above 100. Maybe I just said it up wrong, but that's just my honest opinion. And the Bellfire, I guess, secondary is decent, but nothing to write home about. She's a meh Warframe. I mean, I like the look of her. I love her deluxe skin as well. I have it, looks amazing. The Warframe herself, pillage abilities, as I said, amazing ability, cleaning status effects, gaining shields, armor stripping, a really good ability. Her other ability is good as well. It's just, I don't know. In my honest opinion, she's just really good for her second and third ability, but mostly her second ability. First ability pretty meh. Fourth ability good, crowd controlling, but her, even Banshee's better at crowd controlling than she is. In my honest opinion, at least Banshee can use her abilities. Definitely in the not the best, but doesn't suck. Like, I love how this sort of list, because Hildren's pillage ability is amazing to subsume. So is Banshee's sonar, or I guess not sonar, but what's it called, silence, yes, as well. Most of these Warframes have actually good subsumable abilities and nothing else. Hydroid's going to the trash tier. He is just a much worse Korra. Korra can do mass amounts of damage. Korra can give you extra loot. And Hydroid turns into a puddle. He turns into a puddle, turns into a wave that can sort of crowd control enemies, put them in a corner or a spot, but that's okay. His tentacles are decent at crowd controlling as well, but won't kill anything in a million years. If it's not low tier, his first ability, don't even want to talk about that, and his water missiles are pretty utterly bad as well. So, yeah, let's just leave him a trash tier. Inaros. Inaros. Inaros can gain armor and has the highest health pool in the game. Almost. I mean, in my honest opinion, I think Inaros can go up a little bit more than Grendel can, but still, his armor value is definitely below Grendel. Is he good in Steel Path? I wouldn't recommend him, definitely. I've been corrected on this, and since I tried using him, and it didn't really work out for me, I guess. He cannot even shield gate. This is gonna be the first time that I'm gonna mention it. Yeah, he doesn't have any shield, so he can't really shield gate. I'm not gonna put him in trash tier. I don't think he's that bad. For newer players that want to survive Star Short arbitrations, yeah, he's good. But other than that, honestly, I do have to be honest. I'm gonna put him in trash tier. He's not good at anything other than low-level missions, in my opinion. Or maybe 120, 130 max. I wouldn't really go above that with him, because health isn't that amazing. Armor is what saves you almost, and also damage reduction abilities, and he doesn't have any of those. And plus, his ability set is pretty awful. His first ability, awful. Second ability as well. His third ability, it's okay. You can gain health back as well by sucking enemies in, but his fourth ability, I guess, is his only saving grace. Honestly, in my opinion, trash. Sorry, Naros mains, he is trash. Ivara. Ivara's definitely gonna go in not the best, but no. I haven't seen an Ivara player, I think, for like 6 months or something like that. Her Artemis bow can be pretty decent. She has her third ability, if I'm correct. I'm trying to remember the best I can. Her as well, her like zipline and stuff like that, sonar arrow, stealth arrow, pretty good ability choices, honestly, I do have to say. They're not that bad. Ivara is just a really good Warframe. Wouldn't use her for stealth missions though. She can be used inside of stealth missions, but they're just better Warframes. Even I think Ashe is better stealth missions as well, like Spy and so on. But she's pretty decent. She can kill, honestly. She can, definitely. I'm not saying she can't. I just wouldn't play her, for example, more than I would play Garuda or Hero or even Baruch or any of these other Warframes. Would I play her in Steel Path, for example, other than these 3 Warframes? Maybe, but I honestly don't think. She's just not bad. She's basically that, not bad. Korra definitely has to go, in my opinion, in extremely fine. Korra is amazing Warframe. Korra is a Warframe that you're going to be using 100% of the time if you're going to be farming some resources. If you want extra 65% resources, this is the Warframe that you're going to pick. Do you want to go inside a Steel Path survival missions and kill everything with your first ability? This is the Warframe of choice. Her first ability with a good stats that can do incredible amounts of damage. Fourth ability, crowd controlling enemies. Second ability, ensnare, still crowd controlling enemies, but even better. Third ability, Venari, a stupid cat that doesn't do anything, but still. Fourth ability, second ability, and first ability are incredibly good. If you want to play anything for resources, want to make a full squad core is a must. She is one of the best DPS Warframes in the game, in my honest opinion, and extremely, extremely useful for any squad that is farming anything inside of Warframe. Defense, interception, survival, disruption even, maybe? I don't know. Could be useful. I mean, she's not good at those fast missions, but anything above that, she is incredibly good at. Honestly, an amazing Warframe, and definitely goes into the extremely fine part. Now, Lavos. I set up my Lavos to survive. He can be pretty fast with the second ability, to be completely honest with you. He has this cool feature where his abilities don't use up energy, but are on a cooldown. He can also make these like universal orbs that give you health and energy at the same time. He can apply basically any status effect to any attack that he wants to. So all of the 4 elements and all of the combined elements that you get from those are available to him. His fourth ability does really good damage. His third ability is a little bit strange, it seems like these days, because, I don't know, it sometimes doesn't register the hits and doesn't, because your third ability as Lavos reduces the duration of your other abilities. Sometimes it just doesn't work, at least that's my opinion, but I don't know. I mean, as a Warframe, he's pretty okay. Good health values, decent shield values, pretty decent armor values. Would I take him into extreme high level? I guess, let's say 200, maybe the new conjunction game mode. Probably not. I would definitely use any of the other Warframes that are up here. But honestly, I'm gonna put him into... I'm gonna put him here. I'm gonna put him into good choice. He's a good choice as well. Railjack missions as well. He's really good at that because you can cast your, I guess, Railjack abilities without using energy. You can just basically have them on a duration. So he's really good at that as well. So, I don't know. Maybe good. Maybe damn nice. Maybe damn nice, but let's keep him in good choice for now. Limbo's going into trash tier. The only good thing about him is mobile defense, and that's it. That is the only thing I use Limbo for. Limbo is an annoying Warframe that most of the time limits your team's damage, limits your team in general. He's really good at, for example, defending a certain point. That's not the defense target, for example, because most of your team is going to be, you know, somewhere around that defense target. So, honestly, sorry Limbo mains, I love Limbo for mobile defense missions, but that's only it, basically. I don't love him that much, his abilities are, pretty much, I guess I do have 2 abilities, one with max range, one with short range, but, as I said, Limbo's just really useless in 95%, 99% of the missions in Warframe. Loki can crowd control with his 4th ability. He can basically remove enemy guns. With a high range, this could be really good. He can go invisible for the longest time out of any Warframe. He can go invisible for really, really long amounts of time. He's really good at spy missions, even though I do use some other Warframes for that, but he's decent at spy mission. He's pretty good at capture missions as well. Extermination, definitely not. Survival missions, I guess you could survive on invisibility. Believe me, you definitely could survive on invisibility with him, but his scaling is really bad compared to other Warframes, and honestly, I just wouldn't use him in a lot of situations. A good choice, but not best. Honestly, I'm even thinking of putting him in just trash tier because he can go invisible and, you know, just remove enemies, you know, weapons, which is okay, but for example, you know, some other Warframes do, I guess, better crowd controlling first of all, and invisibility is sometimes maybe not the best option where you can just survive everything, or even not go invisible and still survive everything. So I'm gonna put him into trash tier. Most of you are probably gonna be mad at this, but I'm gonna put him here. I'm sorry about that. So I'm gonna keep him here because would I, for example, Ivara, in my opinion, is much more useful than Loki is, and I can't really put them into 2 situations that were the same. Mag is definitely gonna go into damn nice, in my opinion. Her survivability is not the best. Now, I'm gonna go 2 times back on my word. With shield getting, she's really good. She can also give herself a decent amount of shield, but she can do really good damage. She can armor strip as well. She can if you want a single target damage as well, she can do incredible amounts of damage to that as well. She can crowd control. Honestly, I'm surprised by how good Mag is. I have been using her even without shield gaining, as she's been surviving steel bar pretty easily. The only issue that she has is energy, but other than that, she's really, really good. I love using Mag. I don't use her that often, or maybe as much as I should do, but other than that, she is honestly a decent choice. I do have to say, a really, really decent choice. A fun Warframe and an unexpected Warframe to be definitely up here. Mesa has to go into extremely fine, in my honest opinion. Her peacekeepers are what saves her. If you want to play extermination missions, capture missions, any type of mission where you need to do damage real fast or even slow, Mesa is the Warframe for you. That is my honest opinion. Just cast her 4 and just turn your mouse around. Just go turn out your DPI on your mouse, on your sensitivity, and just do this. Just do this, and there you go. Everything will die. If you're playing Steel Path, a little bit less, but still, if you're playing a little Steel Path, you can still make a build that is really, really good at Steel Path. Would I take her into Conjunction Survival? Honestly, yes. The only thing that maybe brings her down is her little bit squishiness, but she does have her Shatter Shield, and, you know, the other abilities do exist, but, you know, covering as the base Warframe, Shatter Shield is pretty decent with blocking out damage. Even with a little bit of Arcanes as well, you can pretty much help her out. Now, some of you might say she would be a tier below, but I would honestly put her in extremely fine, in my honest opinion. Mirage. Honestly, I love Mirage, but I'm gonna put her in not the best. Because the only thing that I use her for is Explosive Ledgerman. She is pretty decent as well with her Hollow Malevolence build, but other than Sentry Onslaught and other than maybe some low tier missions, I wouldn't use her anywhere else. Her 4th is really good, but if you wanted to do really good damage, you're gonna use up a lot of energy, and if you want to get a lot of energy, well, you're kind of fucked. So honestly, really good Warframe, not the best, but definitely if you want to go into, what's it called, and level up your weapons inside of ESO, definitely my Warframe of choice. Necros, Shield of Shadows, and Desecrate. Honestly, damn nice. I would put him in damn nice, definitely. He is the original edgelord, first of all. Shield of Shadows can really, really save you and makes you really tanky as well. Desecrate. Who doesn't use Desecrate? I mean, again, if you're farming, this is the match made in heaven. Like, let me just remove her. And this is the match made in heaven for farming stuff. So, like, if you're gonna farm stuff, Necros and Korra are a definite must. Wouldn't really use him in, I guess, fast missions because he's not used for that. But any long-term mission, definitely the Warframe of choice. And as well, he can survive pretty easily with Shield of Shadows as well. As I said, there's tankier Warframes, but another route for him as well, other than just using the spoil, or I guess, sorry, Desecrate, and just basically getting yourself up. Neja has to go into damn nice, definitely. If not, actually not extremely fine, damn nice. Neja can apply fire damage, which is really, really cool. Archon Vitality will help double that, so that's even better. He can survive with his Chakram as well, using his 3rd ability to absorb damage and then reduce damage taken by enemies, I guess, fire. He can also give health orbs back to him by using his 2nd ability. His 1st ability, Firewalker, makes him extremely fast. Also, he can use his Chakram and teleport to his Chakram as well. His 4th ability is a decent crowd controlling ability as well. Honestly, a really good tanky Warframe. I love my Neja. If I'm gonna do something fast, I'm using Neja. I guess something that's not as fast with, you know, needing Gauss. Something if it's something fast and a little bit more tankier, then I'm gonna use Neja. If I'm gonna do survival missions, I'm gonna use Neja. I really love using Neja just because of his maneuverability as well as his tankiness. Now, Nidus. Nidus has to go into damn nice for me. Nidus with his build and the Teeming Warlord's Augment basically turns him invincible. His Teeming Warlord's Augment is one of the best augments you can get, increasing your weapon's critical chance. Honestly, if you set up your 3rd ability, your 4th ability, you are basically invincible. You will not die. Keep those two abilities up, do some damage with his first ability and or with his weapon because of teaming virulence, capture enemies and crowd control with his larva ability and also his fourth to some extent. You will not die. He is very campy, yes, but he is very good at that. Now, is he good for fast missions? Definitely no. But as you can see, most of these Warframes that are up here are really decent at just endurance missions. Now, I did say all missions are considered here, but you have to keep in mind the Warframes such as, Chroma can survive really good, but he cannot survive as easily, for example, as Neja and or even Baruch and or Nidus can. They're used in much more missions. He is just used for surviving sometimes and also just being cool for Profit Taker. Now, Nova. Nova is decent. I would put her in good choice. Now, Nova can reduce damage taken to her, even though she's a really squishy Warframe. She can reduce incoming damage. That's really good. Her fourth ability, Molecular Prime, is one of the best crowd controlling abilities out there, if not the best crowd controlling ability out there. She can slow down enemies. She can beat up enemies. She can be a neutral Nova, not even speeding them up or slowing them down, but still applying that damage bonus on them, or I guess, not of course on the enemies towards you, it's just that you'll do more damage to them. Her second ability can also do incredible amounts of damage if you shoot it enough, and if the enemies have Molecular Prime already on them. Honestly, would I take him into high level endurance? No. Is she good at fast missions? She has her teleporter. She can teleport all across the map and do fast missions as well. She is a really good Warframe. It's just what doesn't put her in damn nice is her survivability is much less than some of the Warframes above her. But also, if you want to do a mission that, for example, requires you to have a damage buff, I guess on your enemies, or I guess on you, but a weakness on the enemies, yes. She's a Warframe, definitely. My dream squad would be Korra, Necros, then for example a Nova, and then where's that Warframe? Wisp right here. Next, I'm tempted. I'm really tempted to put her in here. Honestly, listen, I play Warframe a lot. I have 3,000 almost. I almost have 3,000 hours on Warframe. I haven't seen a Nyx player in so long. I think I'm gonna turn 60 soon in Warframe, like so long. Nyx is decently bad. She can crowd control a little bit. She's extremely squishy. And in my honest opinion, not the best Warframe. I think everything above her is definitely deserved to be above her. I don't think she's great. Her abilities don't really suit, for example, my playstyle, or don't even suit, I think, a lot of people's playstyle since they're not using her. Maybe she can be used somewhere, but I definitely do not know the place. Oberon, the GOAT, the original GOAT in Warframe. Honestly, he's pretty decent at survival, can apply radiation procs as well, keeps him and his team alive with renewal as well. His Hollow the Grass of Life does keep your team alive as well. His first ability is pretty decent, and especially with the augment, it can be even better. His fourth ability is a good crowd controlling and armor reduction ability. Honestly, a good choice. Honestly, yeah, good choice. Definitely good choice. Now, what makes him bad is he's not the best at fast missions, like some of the Warframes up here. But he's okay. Definitely would put him as a good choice. I played him recently as well, and definitely a good choice. Octavia has to go in extremely fine. The Endurance Warframe. The Endurance Warframe. Like, she's not as strong as, what, I almost said Giroud, as Grendel is, but she has invisibility. She can increase her attack speed. Her, I guess, what's it called? Bullet attack speed, not fire rate. There you go, finally. She summons a rolling ball of doom, a music box of doom, I guess you could call it, and her fourth ability buffs almost everything up, and doing more, I guess, activating or doing more sounds is gonna buff up that even more. She is amazing scaling at the damage as well. All you need to do is cast her abilities over and over and over again, and you can stay inside a seal path as long as your heart contents. Is she good for capture missions? No. But is she extremely good at endurance? Oh, hell, she is. She is really good at that. And I think everyone loves her for it, and one of the best scaling Warframes in the game. Now when I think about it, actually, I don't think Mesa deserves to be there, honestly. When I look at it, I don't think she deserves to be there. Now, Protea. I love using Protea. Protea is, for me, one of the best Warframes and one of the better Warframes in the game. Her fourth ability is the only thing that brings it down, and she's not the most fastest Warframe, but she is decently fast. I think she has a pretty high sprint speed as well, and mobility. Her first ability, really good. Balls that do slash damage and also give you overshields if you hold down the first mouse button. Second ability, summons blaze artillery that does incredible amounts of fire damage. Third ability, dispensary, and fourth ability, just rewinding time and I guess basically making you invincible for a little short while. I don't know. Damn nice or here. You know what? For now, we're gonna put her into a good choice, even though I think she is maybe damn nice. Revenant. Sadly, listen to me. I have to put him in not the best, but doesn't suck. Why am I putting him here? Honestly, no. No, I'm gonna put him in a good choice. Listen, his first ability is a great crowd controlling ability. Second ability, Mesmer Skin. Basically, as many charges as you can absorb as much damage as you possibly can. One charge can absorb an infinite amount of damage. Basically an infinite amount of damage. Anything that hits you will get blocked by Mesmer Skin. Enemies that shoot the Mesmer Skin will be put to sleep. So another great crowd controlling ability. A good crowd controlling ability, not a great one. His first one basically, I guess, turns enemies against each other. His third one can sap the life out of the enemies it goes through, and especially if they're enthralled, it does even more sucking power, I guess. And it also gives you health back. And a great maneuverability ability. His fourth ability, Dance Macabre, spin around like a Beyblade and doing really good damage. So, and adaptive damage at that. So, depending on the enemy type that you're fighting, it's gonna correspond with that, of course, element. Definitely a good choice. What makes him a little bit below these Warframes is, I think that his fourth ability doesn't scale well with the enemies inside of Steel Path. His first ability and second ability are the most used abilities in my honest opinion. I almost rarely use the third ability. If I'm going to play capture missions or survival missions or capture missions, spy missions, stuff like that, I'm going to use, for example, what's his name? Gauss right here, Nezha, for example, or even Ash. But other than that, definitely no. Rhino, bad but doesn't suck. His Iron Skin fell off ages ago. His Iron Skin is not good. You can use Ironclad Charge and, what's it called? The other one. I forgot what it's called. When you have, like, gathering up, like, millions and millions, or I guess hundreds of thousands of ferrite armor of Iron Skin. It's okay. His third ability is its redeeming quality of giving you a buff to your damage. His first ability, bad. Very bad. His fourth ability, a decent crowd controlling ability, but believe me, Banshee does better. Nova does extremely better. Hero as well. Garuda even. Gara. So, honestly, in my opinion, Rhino stays here. Roar is what pulls him out of being basically trash. Saren, extremely fine. Saren is the nuking Warframe. She has been incredibly good at nuking Warframe, at nuking enemies a long time ago, and she is still incredibly good at nuking right now. She's decent at survivability, not the best Warframe, but just her crowd controlling and her nuking in general makes her belong in extremely fine. She is really, really good at that, and I love using her in multiple types of missions, even in ESO as well, and I mean, I love the Prime skin. It looks really good. Not the Prime skin, but what's it called? The Deluxe skin. It looks really good. Severgoth. Now, Severgoth is gonna go into not the best, but doesn't suck. His redeeming quality is his Gloom ability. And honestly, the amount of energy you need to keep him and his shadow form alive and just going is extremely big. Like, extremely big. You can abuse Arcane Energize, but not a lot of people have that. His shadow form is a really cool feature as well. His abilities are really good at crowd controlling and life stealing as well. I can't say he's a bad Warframe. He's definitely not trash tier, and he's not a bad Warframe in general. It's just that in general, the Warframe is okay. okay. He's not the best, but the only redeeming quality, again, as Rhino is Gloom, and that's basically it. Titania. Titania is going to go in good choice for two obvious, or actually for three obvious reasons. Now, Titania is extremely fast. With her augment, Razor Wing Blitz, she is the fastest Warframe in the game, if you stack it up correctly. I think not even Goss or even speeded up Grendel can catch up to her. She is extremely fast. Her archering melee is okay, but her secondaries are really good. And also, if you do subsume some abilities, but we're not going to talk about that because that's not the point. Her second is okay, her third is okay, giving you around 3 out of 1 over 3 buffs. As a base Warframe, definitely good. She is extremely good for fast missions, so you can even do spy missions in some sort of way with her. So, spy missions, extermination, capture, sabotage, rescue. She is the girl of choice. For survival, she is pretty decent because when she does go into her fourth form, she does become much smaller, which means it's harder to hit her. So that is pretty decent as well. I would maybe take her to level 120 Steel Path and not above that, or maybe 130, but not above that. Definitely a good choice, but honestly, I do have to say this: if you do put what's it called, Nova's ability onto her, or even Goss's third ability, you're gonna be extremely good at extermination missions. Trinity, Trinity is definitely a good choice. She's really good at supporting. She is the OG support Warframe. She's really good at surviving as well. I recently did make a video on her as well. A really good survival Warframe and a really good support Warframe. That is basically all I have to say about her. She gives you health, she gives you energy, she can survive, and honestly, that is basically it. And she can also give you weapon damage as well with one of her augments. Valkyr. Honestly, even though we're not counting Varuna, I do have to say she is a worse Varuna, in my opinion. Varuna at the moment is a little bit better because of her buff. Listen, Warcry, really good. Zipline? Why? What's that grappling hook? What's that going to do? I mean, that doesn't help me out in almost any situation. Her third ability is okay, and her exalted weapons are they're not that good. Her fourth ability does give you sort of an invincibility phase as well, but you do absorb the damage anyway, and it gets dished out when you exit it. You know, it's a two-way lane, or I guess two-way street. She's good. She's not the best, in my opinion. Warcry does make her attack extremely fast, but I guess another Warframe with one redeeming quality, like most of these Warframes in this port. Vauban has to go in the good choice. Good crowd controlling with his fourth ability, having two forms, Vortex and the Bastille one, where it basically just levitates enemies up in a certain circle. His Flashette Orbs are extremely good. His Tesla of Nervos as well, another cool ability. Since his rework, he has become really, really good. And I do think he's definitely on par with Protea, basically his engineering sister. A really, really good Warframe, definitely buffed and definitely better. Honestly, the damage of Flashette Orb when you combine it like with your fourth ability is really, really good. His third ability is still not something that I would write home about, but nonetheless, it is really, really good. Volt. Volt's gonna go into good choice as well. I'm thinking of Damn Fine just because his first ability is not the best ability. His third ability is really good at shields, I guess. I mean, it summons a shield that blocks incoming damage. He's been reworked so you can use his primaries as well. His fourth ability is good at crowd controlling, good at ESO as well. He is really good at Eidolon hunts, extremely good at Eidolon hunts. But other than that, he's okay. I would definitely put him into Damn Nice. I wouldn't put him below, definitely. Maybe into Good Choice, but he's really good at fast missions as well, and can survive if you do put in the time in. The Wisp, honestly, listen, there's a couple things that you have to keep in mind. Wisp is the buff Warframe. If you're going to do high-level gameplay with her little mods, she is really, really good. She buffs you to insanity with a great build. She's also fast, so if you do want to do fast missions as well, you can do that with her. She's really good at surviving. I wouldn't take her into level cap definitely, or I guess higher steel palette gameplay alone, but buffing your teammates is extremely good with her. Now we have our dream setup. In my opinion, Cora, then we have Necros, Wisp, and then Nova. Honestly, or not even without Nova, we don't actually need her, just these 3 Warframes for farming something. Honestly, she is extremely good at buffing your teammates, and that's why she's gonna go up here. Just because she's really good at everything. She's really good at everything. Sort of the same as Octavia in some sort of sense. It's just that she can move a little bit faster because she does have that clone that she can send out, so that's kind of cool. So really, really good Warframe. And the best ass in Warframe has to go up here. Wukong. I'm sorry, my monkey boy. I'm so sorry. His clone is decent. I love his clone. His second ability, he's good at surviving. Honestly, if I were to go off of just the I guess premise of this tier list, he would definitely go into good choice. So first of all, he is extremely good at spy missions, capture missions, rescue, sabotage. Anything fast you need to do without needing to be extremely fast is definitely Wukong's game. Survival is a pretty good aspect as well. Now, is he better at surviving than Nidus? I wouldn't say so. They both sort of have the similar passive because Nidus uses up stacks without needing to die, and when what's his name, Wukong takes bleeding damage, or I guess critical damage, fatal damage, that's what it's called. He doesn't die, but he has like 3, I guess, lucky charms that he can use up. So, but Nidus can use it up in infinite amounts of times. So, honestly, I would definitely... The only thing that brings him down is his fourth ability. Cloudwalker's really good, gives you health. His second ability gives you armor. His first ability is his clone, which does really good damage with your weapons because he also has buffed health and a little bit of damage boost. His fourth ability, the only thing that brings him down. Zaku is, in my opinion, going into damn nice. Zaku is really good. If you're going to cap in one spot, armor stripping, damage, void damage as well. His fourth ability allowing you to dodge enemies' incoming attacks. I wouldn't really say he is the tankiest Warframe. A little bit less tanky than Nezha. What's his name? Is somewhere around the point of Necros. But he is better at some things. Oh yeah, Necros can armor strip as well, so that's kind of cool. But they're actually, they are almost the same Warframe when you look at it that way. But nonetheless, he definitely deserves to be here. His second ability is extremely good. He can be used for extermination missions, capture missions, sabotage missions, because all you need to do, activate his second ability, take the enemy's weapons, and then they will just shoot everything. So, yeah. Definitely a good all-rounder Warframe, and definitely can be used inside of higher level gameplay just because of that armor awesome strip. Yareli, in my opinion, hasn't been changed good enough. Looks really cute, but still hasn't been changed good enough. I do not like Merlina. It's quite annoying. Her balls don't do a lot. Her aqua blades are still pretty bad compared to these other Warframes. And it's just like, she's okay. She's a little bit tankier now. I would take her maybe to arbitrations, and basically that is it. And that's all I have to say about you, really. And also good at buffing secondaries. So if you need someone to buff your secondaries, there you go. Zephyr is a big surprise. Zephyr, honestly, she could go into damn nice. Her first ability, allowing you to float mid-air, and also, of course, when you float mid-air, you get critical chance, so that's really, really good. And also allowing you to travel fast. Her second ability, allowing you to... Let me just remember what her second ability is. I know that Turbulence, so that's really good. You basically dodge any sort of ranged attack, so anything ranged you will dodge. Her tornadoes, oh my god, her tornadoes are a great crowd controlling ability and a great damage dealing ability as well. So honestly, the Warframe itself is really, really good. She's really good at faster missions. I wouldn't prefer her, for example, over Wukong and or, for example, Gauss. But I would definitely prefer her in crowd controlling over Oberon, for example, Protea, and some of these other Warframes, because her tornadoes are incredibly good and also are really good at damage dealing. Cyanax, in my opinion, ever since he's been nerfed, has become sad. His second ability is good. First ability is decent as well. His second ability does have armor reduction, armor stripping. That's pretty good. His fourth ability used to be incredibly good. Now it's just trash. I wouldn't even take him to maybe. I would take him maybe level 60, 70. I wouldn't even take him to arbitrations, honestly. Is he trash? I don't know. I would definitely put him into trash. I mean, honestly, not into trash. It's just, I don't know. Ever since they nerfed him, since they nerfed the 50th Warframe or Boyo, I'm quite sad, to be completely honest with you. I'm sad what they did to him. Would I keep him here? I don't know. I would maybe move him a little bit here because I guess his second ability is armor stripping and his third ability is good as well. And his fourth ability can be useful in low tier missions, but some of these Warframes, I guess I'll leave him in not bad, but sucks. But yeah, that's been it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you guys did, do leave a like, a comment, and do subscribe. You can become a member if you didn't hate me. Maybe I put your, favorite Warframe up here, and maybe, you keep that in mind. Maybe, maybe like that. But yeah, this has been it. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys did, do all that cool jazz. This has been the Gaming Weasel, and I would love to see how many of people do actually dislike this video. And I'll see you guys on the next one. The Gaming Weasel, over and out.